But how do I know you're telling the truth now, since I
You
know
open the
that
Quran.
Muslims are taught to lie?
You have to establish to me where Muslims are taught to lie.
Ali Dawah debates for a living. Jesse Lee Peterson just asks questions. Could a Christian preach openly in a Muslim country? Are Christians and Jews still infidels? Watch how fast the warm answers grow conditions. Watch the verse numbers pile up on one side. Then watch what happens when Jesse asks for chapter and verse. Every time the ground gets hard, the subject changes. One side came with a script. The other just came with questions. So let's get straight into it.
It's not a white country, but I'm staying here for work reasons at the moment, or not only just work reasons, but I'm also here because I want to tell people about Islam. And if I stay in a Muslim country, they're already Muslims, so there's no point of me telling them about Islam, right? So I have to be in a place where people are not Muslim, right? So if I'm in the UK, there's a lot of people who are from different religions, different faiths, where I can have dialogue, because this is what I do, right? Interfaith religious discourse and all of that. So I engage with different people. So here there's a diversity of people, Jewish, Hindu, Christian, and all of that. And I engage with them. And I would not be able to do that in a Muslim country. Therefore, I'm here for that reason.
And so
Christian, some Muslim countries, perhaps you can, yeah.
Could a Christian move to a Muslim country and freely and openly convert the people from Islam to Muslim? I mean, to Christian?
Well, it depends on the country, but ideally under Islamic law, no, you're not allowed to, because Christianity is false while Islam is the truth.
Ali Dawah opens with interfaith dialogue. He needs a country full of non-Muslims to preach to. Then Jesse turns it around. Could a Christian do that in a Muslim country? The answer takes 4 seconds. Ideally under Islamic law, no. Christianity is false. Islam is the truth. That is the whole debate in one sentence. He wants the freedom he would not give back. Jesse did not have to argue. He just asked the question.
Wait, I'll answer you. Just because you guys are liberals, following liberalism, and you believe that anyone can do whatever they want to do, that does not mean that we're also liberal, all right? We don't allow harmful ideologies for our children. We don't allow rainbow flags in our countries. We don't allow these harmful ideologies to infiltrate into our people. So we are very self-aware of what is the truth, and we try to follow the truth, and we don't allow falsehood to be broadcasted. But if a Christian goes and speaks with Muslims about Christianity, no one will do anything to him. For example, I'll give you an example, right? In Egypt, there's 50 million Coptic Christians who live there. The current president is called Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. He built them the biggest cathedral in the Middle East. Right. So this idea of that they're being persecuted is just people who have no idea of what's going on, right? So he built them the biggest cathedral in the Middle East. They speak about the religion. In fact, there was a woman that accepted Islam recently. It was in the news. And then the church took her by force and brought her back to Christianity, converted her by force into Christianity. So, and this is in what you call a Muslim country, right? So the answer to your question, as I said, depends on the country. Ideally, in an Islamic state, no, because Christianity is false and Islam is true.
Watch the move he just made. The question was about Christians converting Muslims. The answer becomes rainbow flags and harmful ideologies. Then comes the Egypt example. A president built a cathedral, so persecution is a misconception. 50 million Coptic Christians. One cathedral, case closed. Then he brings one news story about a forced conversion. No source, no name, no date. He is about to demand all 3 from Jesse.
But I happen to know that the Christians are under, because I know some Christians over there, and they are under serious attack by Muslims in those countries over there. So,
have you heard of the fallacy of "my friend said so, therefore it's true"?
What?
Have you heard of a fallacy called "my friend said so, therefore it's true"? What you just told me is a personal experience of unknown, anonymous individuals, right? I cannot validate or invalidate that. I can just say, okay, I've got some Muslims. By the way, Muslims are being persecuted in non-Muslim lands. That's a fact, right? For example, here in this country, they say love is love, isn't it? And they allow you to do all of this rainbow stuff because love is love. But they will say to you, as a Muslim, you cannot marry more than... Yeah, I agree with you. But then they say you cannot marry more than one wife. So if love is love, why are you stopping a Muslim by law to marry more than one wife?
Watch how this one gets handled. Jesse says he knows Christians under attack over there. Ali Dawah does not answer that. He names a fallacy instead. Anonymous friends cannot be validated. Move on. Then he pivots to pride flags and polygamy law. Notice what quietly got skipped here. Nobody addressed whether those Christians are actually under attack. He found a rule that lets him not answer. Jesse keeps the question in his pocket.
That's an
We are being
interesting
persecuted
question.
here, right?
I want to get to that, but let me ask this really fast and fast
No
answer. So Muslims do not allow Christians to go over there and convert other Muslims to Christianity. And
But the Vatican doesn't allow
how
it
would
to.
you feel if they told you in London, you know what, you got to go away, you can no longer try to convert Christians to Muslims? Would they be right for that, or would they be wrong to do that?
It would be the right.
It'd be right, okay.
Absolutely, it'd be the right. It's their country.
Um,
It's your country. It's your laws, right?
so what now?
I'm saying it's your country. It's your laws.
Right.
So you can determine what to do in your country. Yeah.
And is
So
it
just
true
like
that-
I'm here, I'm legally not able to. Just like I'm legally not able to marry more than one wife here, and I'm following that because that's the law in the country, right? Even though I don't agree with it. So they can do certain things that I don't agree with, but I'll follow it because it's the law.
This is the best question of the night. Imagine London banning Muslim preaching tomorrow. Would he call that fair? And Ali Dawa says yes, it would be their country and their laws. He just conceded the entire principle. A country may ban the religion it calls false. He follows British law because it is the law, not because he agrees with any of it. He says exactly that about polygamy. Jesse got that on record in under a minute.
And so the law of the Muslims that you can have more than one wife?
Yeah, the law of the Muslims and Christians and Jews. Yes.
But what's the purpose
the
of
Bible.
having more than one wife?
The purpose of having, of course, having more progeny, having more children in populating the society. Also, the fact that men desire variety while women are not the same. They're happy with one individual, one person. So there are many reasons you can put. But generally, Allah Azza wa Jal allowed it. Sorry?
Let me ask. In the Quran, it says that you can lie and deceive the infidel, which they call the Christians and the Jews, that you can lie and deceive them. You can pretend to be their friends. You can move into their country, not quite like that, but whatever it takes to deceive them in order to destroy them. What do you think about that?
Jesse just laid the biggest card on the table. He says the Quran permits lying to the infidel, befriend the Christians and Jews in order to destroy them. That is a heavy charge. And he made it plainly. Now watch the answer arrive. It will not be a denial with chapter and verse. It will be a detour into the New Testament. Keep score on who answers the question asked.
I think about what you just said is the lie. This is what I would say. And I would challenge anyone to open the Quran or Islamic teachings where it tells us to lie. But what I would advise people to do is to open the Bible and see what Paul says, that he becomes a Jew for the Jewish person, he becomes a Christian for a Christian, he becomes an atheist for the atheist, to bring them into his faith. He says, if my lie leads people to righteousness, then why do you call me a sinner? So if you've got an issue with lying to support belief, then you should have an issue with Paul. But Islam doesn't have that belief. And I welcome that you can, right now, if you want to show me, where does the Quran?
Count what just happened there. Jesse asked for one verse in the Quran. The answer was a lecture about the Apostle Paul. All things to all men, so look over there. That is not a rebuttal. That is a subject change. The challenge itself sounds strong. Show me where the Quran says lie. But it only lands after the argument moved onto Christian ground. Jesse never asked about Paul.
Did
Or
they
the
take
hadith
it,
tell you
did
to
they
lie
take
to
it out?
further your faith.
It was in there. Did they
Sorry?
take it out when we start complaining about it?
The Quran has been the same. We have carbonated manuscripts since the time of the
It
Prophet
was
until
in there
today. So
for
you can
sure.
find it in the manuscripts. By the way, even in Birmingham, they have a carbonated manuscript there, right? So you can try and find it there, right? Because that's not necessarily a Muslim country. So if it's there, please show it to me.
Do Muslims still consider Christians and Jews as infidels?
What do you mean by infidels? It is an English word, so it's not Arabic word. What do you mean by infidel?
Infidel meaning that they're non-Muslim and they are worthy of death.
Jesse pushes back with a memory. He remembers reading it years ago. Did somebody quietly take it out? The answer is the Birmingham manuscript. Carbon dated. Go and look for yourself. That is a real answer on the text. Then Jesse asks the plainer question. Are Christians and Jews still infidels? Watch the reply carefully here. He argues about an English word instead. What do you mean by infidels? That is a delay, not an answer.
No, we don't. We don't believe that we kill any non-Muslims. And I quoted verses of the Quran for you. Chapter 2, verse 190, chapter 2, verse 194, chapter 60, verse 8, chapter 5, verse 32. All of these are I'm giving references of verses for people to see that this is not the case.
But how do I know you're telling the truth now, since I know that Muslims are taught to lie?
You have to establish to me where Muslims are taught to lie. Can you please do that?
I just told you about
where's the difference?
In order to deceive, to befriend the Christians and Jews, in order to destroy them.
The verse list comes out fast. Chapter 2, chapter 60, chapter 5. Then Jesse asks the only question that matters. How do I know you are telling the truth? That is not an insult. It is the whole problem with the taqiyya claim. If lying were permitted, the denial itself proves nothing. Ali Dawa demands chapter and verse. Jesse hands him the claim again. The Quran itself is the only thing that settles this.
Where is the reference? Where is that in the Quran? Where?
I don't know. They may have taken it out now. It was there years ago.
You made it up. With all due respect,
no, I didn't make it up.
This is something...
I've seen it in there before.
Okay.
But I did not make it up. But
can you show me?
Have one of your little Muslim friends show you. I don't know.
No, I know the Quran, all of it from beginning to end. And there's not. If you claiming is when I say you made it up, I'm saying that based on me knowing the Quran, because there's no such thing in the Quran. So if you make the claim, I believe you have to substantiate it with evidence, isn't it?
No.
That's how the. Oh, okay. So you just make claims. Okay.
No, I'm not making. I'm just telling you what was in there. It may not be in there now. But let me ask.
Oh no, it's never been there.
Do you agree with the Sharia law?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
The chapter and verse never comes. Ali Dawa gets his laugh. Then look at Jesse's very next question. Do you agree with Sharia law? Yes, absolutely, 100%, from beginning to end. No conditions, no context, no it depends. 10 minutes of nuance evaporate in 3 words. Everything about British law now sits under that answer. That is what Jesse came for.
The Sharia law is to kill people, right? Punish them and kill them if they don't do what the Muslims want them to.
No. I give references from the Quran for you to answer this point, that this is not what Islam teaches. You've got a more of a brainwashed extremist idea of what Islam is that has been taught in the media. I did expect you as a person to be more well kind of acquainted that what the media says is not the truth. So whatever kind of view that a lot of Americans have today of Muslims is absolutely not true. And I would recommend people to pick up a copy of the Quran and read what the Quran actually says, instead of listening to what the media says or what is commonly told about Muslims. Actually, if you have a Muslim friend, you can look at their life, how they live their life, or you open the Quran yourself and read. That's the best, because that's the source.
Jesse asks what Sharia does to people who refuse. The answer is not a description of Sharia. It is an attack on Jesse. Brainwashed, extremist, media-fed. I expected better from you. Then comes the reading assignment. Go buy a Quran, get a Muslim friend. Notice what never actually arrives. The punishment for leaving the faith, he agreed with all of it, beginning to end. So describe the part Jesse asked about.
Do the blacks and the Muslims get along in London?
Many. I would say, I don't even know the exact stat, but when you say blacks and Muslims, you're creating a separation. Only the 20% of Muslims are Arabs. There's 2 billion Muslims in the world. Only 20% are Arabs. 80% of Muslims are not Arabs. So you have I don't know, the population of black Muslims that are out there. So why are you creating this separation anyways?
I'm just wondering, because the blacks don't get along with anybody else. I just wonder.
There's full African countries that are, like Somalia, for example, which is 99% Muslims. They're all black.
I'm sorry to hear that. No wonder. What a mess.
Ask about London and watch where the answer goes. He does not know the stat. Then the question itself becomes the problem. You are creating a separation. Then come the global demographics, 20%, 80%, 2 billion. Somalia is 99% Muslim. All true. None of it about London. This is the pattern of the whole conversation. A local question gets a worldwide statistic. Jesse asked about those streets, and the answer toured 3 continents.
So far, no problem. It's a low blow, but I'll let you go. Okay. Yes.
Do you love white people?
Do I love white people? I love the people who do good. If they do good, then I love their goodness. If they do bad, I don't love their goodness.
Do you do
don't
bad
know.
sometimes?
Of course, I'm a human being.
And as a result of doing bad, it's okay for people not to love you?
Yes, if I do bad to someone, it's okay for him not to love.
Here is what Jesse Lee Peterson got on the record. Preaching only flows one way because one side is true and the other false. A country may ban the faith it rejects. Sharia law agreed with completely, beginning to end. Every time the follow-up got specific, the answer went somewhere else. Paul, Egypt, Birmingham, global demographics. A confident case answers the narrow question Jesse asked what most hosts are too polite to ask. Do you think Jesse exposed what that worldview really holds? Or did Ali Dawa answer him fairly? Drop your thoughts in the comments.